Hi, and welcome to Ants Scandinavia. In this video you will see how to make your own Ytong ant nest. Let's get started. First, you need to cut out a piece of Ytong. The size depends on your design, but also on how large your ant colony currently is. For this, I am actually using a machine saw blade. I wouldn't recommend using some expensive wood saw. This is because the saw blade will get blunt fast. I wanted my nest to be a little smaller, so I cut it again. This nest is for a new colony, so that's why I wanted a smaller size for it. Now, for the fun part, the design. The first thing I drew was the openings for the tubes. This is so I won't cut too close to that side. The tubes must be 2 centimeters or so into the nest, so they won't easily come off. I went for an open design, still with some corners. The next step is to start carving. The soft Ytong makes it easy to carve it. I use a flat screwdriver to carve all of my nests. Remember to design the nest with watering holes. I chose to have a rough bottom because I wanted to simulate a natural uneven floor. These are the 2 watering holes. Now it's time to drill. Make sure to be very careful with this step so you don't break the Ytong. These are the drills I will be using. The middle one being for the watering holes and the 2 larger ones being for the tubes. Let's start with the watering holes. All set. Now I am just measuring to make sure I don't drill through the entire nest. Be careful with that. It is easy to get carried away and accidentally drill too far. Watering holes done. Now let's drill the holes for the tubes. I am using 2 drills because the Ytong may break when drilling with drills too big. That's why I drilled twice, the first time being with a smaller drill. Make sure the final larger drill corresponds to the tube size you are going to use. As mentioned earlier, be very careful when drilling in Ytong. It is a soft material and breaks easily. All looking good. Now, it's time for the larger drill. Drill on the exact same spot, so you only make the holes a bit wider for the tubes to fit. Drilling done. And the tube fits perfectly. Now for some last touches. The next step is to sand everything down to a smooth, soft surface. For this, I am using a metal piece and taped sandpaper P120 to one side of it. It is important to use a flat and hard surface to sand with, because otherwise the pressure may not be even and you may end up with an unflat surface. It is important that the top part of the nest is flat for the plexiglass to fit and so that no ants can climb up and out of the watering holes. When it is sanded down, it's time for cleaning. I'm using an air compressor for this, but showering it in water should do. Just be sure that it is really rinsed and all dust particles are gone. Cleaning done. Now it's time to cut out the plexiglass. Keep the safety plastic on to avoid scratches. Place the glass on top of the nest and draw a line where the edges should be. Perfect. I used a jigsaw to cut it out, but you can use other saws as well. First cut done. All cut out and done. Very nice. Now it's time to glue the glass to the nest. I'm using this Trans 7 clear, but I'm sure you can use any type of clear silicone. Time for the satisfying sound of safety plastic being taken away. Ooh, I love to do that. Now, place the glass upside down, ready to be put onto the nest. And start siliconing the sides. When that is done, put on the glass and push so it is really sticking to the Ytong. I'm using a stick to collect the leftover silicone. You don't want to get this on your hands. It is really hard to clean off. Suddenly it started pouring rain, so I had to get inside. When you have put the glass onto the Ytong, it is time for it to dry. To be on the safe side of it really sticking to the Ytong, I like to cover it with a cloth, put some rocks on each side and put a heavy object onto it. This focuses the weight of the object onto the edges where you have used the silicone. Wait about 14 hours and it should have cured. The next day, take off the weight, the rocks and the blanket. Looks good. Make sure there are no gaps for the ants to escape from. Now it's time to drill the watering holes. Use a small drill, wide enough for your syringe or pipette to fit. But first, let's take away the safety plastic. Oh, why is that so satisfying? Oh well, let's start drilling. Nice. The next step is to glue the tubes. For this you will need tubes, a scissor, a stick and silicone. You will also need hot water. First, put the end of the tube into the hot water. This makes the tube soft and it will be easier to put it in place. Then, push it into one of the holes. First tube done. Now, cut the tube to your desired length. Repeat the same to the other tube. Perfect. Now it's time to use the silicone. Use rather too much silicone than too little, rather safe than sorry. You don't want the tube to come off when you have ants in there. Then, use the stick to smoothen it out. Done. Just let it dry and you have your own formicarium for your ants. Using this method I showed you, you can make many different variations of nest, like this one, which has cavities both on the top and the side. Thank you.